Hello, my name is David Brent.
Yeah.
This is Mark, and with me always, the person who I want to peg every single day of his life.
You're not pegging me.
I'm gonna peg you.
No,
Goddamn.
you're not.
My Anthony Ballerina.
I'll jab you good, you filthy bug.
Oh, you can't do that to me.
I can't undo you, Jack.
I can't undo you, Jack.
Alright.
It's because of you I'm like this.
So what do I owe the pleasure of you gracing my presence on this fine evening?
Okay, hold on. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is something I think I sent you a video of. I know I did kind of inform you earlier, but it's actually like hurting my soul. It's hurting my heart. I don't like it.
What is it?
It's the Harry Potter reboot. I think it's fucking dumb.
Oh, 100% it's fucking dumb. Like
The last movie came out like 15 years ago. Not even.
it ended.
20.
It ended good. It ended how we all enjoyed it ending. What's there to reboot? You gonna redo them all from the ground up?
Well, so Warner Bros. Is in talks, but then I heard it was confirmed. But basically, Warner Bros. Is in talk with HBO, HBO Max, to make a series of the Harry Potter for 7 seasons, each book. Which, in a way, I think that'd be interesting to see.
So is it going to be just the same characters, outside perspective? Like what? Because they're not kids anymore, obviously.
No, it's going to be recasted, everything.
So, but is it going to follow the... So wait, you said it's going to follow the
It's going to be a complete reboot, but it's going to follow the books to a T. Like, I don't know if you remember reading the first Harry Potter book, but I just reread it and had the audiobook about a year ago. The Forbidden Forest scene where it's Hermione, Harry, and Ron, and Harry and Draco went one way, and Hermione, Ron, and Hagrid went the other.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Ron, it was Neville in the book. Ron came later. And there's also Peeves the Ghost.
Yeah.
You know, also, disclosure, I'm a very Harry Potter fanatic.
Yeah, he's a Harry Potter buff for sure.
Got 4 tattoos that are Harry Potter, so.
Yeah, I don't think they should do a reboot. But
No.
that's modern television nowadays. That's all it is. It's reboots and sequels to movies that didn't need sequels.
See, I'm mad about it because also, like, first of all, no one can be Hagrid besides who played Hagrid. Robbie Coltrane did a great job playing Hagrid. And you know that role was also, here's a little thing. That role was almost given to Robin Williams. Which he would have been a great Hagrid.
That'd have been interesting.
But J.K. Rowling didn't want any of the cast to not be from England. They had to be English.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be from the United States. So that also gives me the question too. Because most of the Harry Potter series, like you had David Tennant, you had all these amazing English actors who are now passed. And some are just not interested in going back to the franchise. So you're going to use new kids in England, because J.K. Rowling is an executive producer in it, which they're also still having the Fantastic Beasts movies, which, don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but at the same time, they're fucking stupid. The second one is great, where Dumbledore's committed gay. Love it.
The second one? That was the Crimes of Grindelwald, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you see the sense where, because there's a scene where, I think it's like the head of the Aurors, which is like police, basically, wizards, and he looks at Dumbledore, he's like, I heard you and Grindelwald were close, like brothers, and he's like, well, we're much closer than that. And Jude Law plays an amazing Dumbledore. Well, he does. But the Secrets of Dumbledore was the third one. I did like, but the fact that they don't have Johnny Depp in it anymore is fucking stupid.
Yeah, amidst all that brouhaha, which, since it's come to pass, I'm kind of hoping that, makes a return or they do something.
Well, it's so, like, the first one was Colin Farrell, which if you wanted to hear something really funny, you know how I like Heath Ledger. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen this movie with me or not, but I own it, and we need to sit down and watch it. It's called The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. That is the last film Heath Ledger did. Now, the 3 actors that signed on to reprise his role for him was Colin Farrell, who played the first Grindelwald, Johnny Depp, who played the second Grindelwald, and Jude Law, who plays Albus Dumbledore. and they all play the same variant of Heath's character in the dream world, pretty much. They all play. His name's Tony, Evan Ensley. It's actually really good. Late for a very important date. I can't tell you how much I've told my... Yeah, so that's the scene where he's wearing like the doctor's mask. It's all white. Yeah, they all wear that in the Imaginarium.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny that them three are like, they got reprised to do. It was pretty cool. But now that Johnny Depp's not in it no more, the new Grindelwald I don't like. It's Nick Madison. He's like a Russian actor. He's a good actor and everything.
You don't
else.
cast spelled cast you.
No. He's like, you've never seen Sons of Anarchy, so I can't tell you.
Nope. I probably never will see Sons of Anarchy. Truthfully, I just don't have the patience to sit down and watch it.
See, it's a great show. Sons of Anarchy was a good show.
If I would have watched it back when I was 15, like when I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch Doctor Who. I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna watch long ass series. Like, I got to the 6th season of Supernatural, and I just fucking stopped. I was like, I'm 6 seasons in. I'm too tired. I don't want to go on.
I watched from season 1 to season 15 Supernatural. Cold-hearted. I watched when I got into Sons of Anarchy the first time. I was like 13. The show was about to end, so I only seen like the last 6 episodes, and I was like, "This is fucking cool. This guy's fucking killing people." Fucking 13, 14-year-old Mark was.
Just, fucking gotta love it. Love
no
being 13
guidance.
and wanting to murder.
Yeah, pretty much. No guidance. But then, like, as an adult, I just rewatched it. But anyway, we're talking about Harry Potter. I don't know. I'd like to see it closer to the books where they introduce the ghosts, like the Fair Lady.
Yeah, if it's closer to the books, because there's, which I'll give it that. TV shows have more time and resources to follow a story exactly how it was written versus a movie. Because a movie, you get like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending what your budget is.
Right.
To cram as much, like fucking Harry Potter books are 400, 500 page books.
The first 3 are like anywhere from 350 to 400.
Yeah, so you have to, you gotta take it in like for like a movie.
Yeah.
You have to sit down and fucking figure like, okay, what, like this follows this book, but what parts to really get it going? Do I need to add? Do I need to not add out of this 400 page book? Whereas a TV show. And if they're gonna do it,
they're probably gonna do like 12 episodes.
But they're gonna do this. They're gonna do a season per book.
Yes, that's their plan.
Yeah, and a season, obviously, however many episodes, that is more than enough to fit exactly what you want.
See, that's what I'm saying. But my thing is like, I don't know if it's because I watched it. Like, you gotta think the first movie came out when I was 1, or maybe not.
No,
first one was 2000.
Let me look that up because actually.
It was in the 90s. It came out in 2000. I know that for a fact. Literally, the first Harry Potter movie is old as me. Or it might be younger.
The first one, that was Sorcerer's Stone, right? First one?
Yeah. It's 2000, 2001.
2001.
So I'm older than the first movie.
Yeah.
So that first movie is 22 years old. Okay, the last one came out in 2011. Part 2, right? So the 8th movie comes out.
Yeah.
Which I would also think that would have been great as a series. But also, I grew up with the movies, and I then went and read the books.
Well, what I hope they do, and then if they're going to do this, because it's supposed to be with the books, I want them to do something with the Cursed Child.
Have you read The Cursed Child?
No, I haven't read it. I know you had both. You had the book format and the play format.
It's the same. That's the same. I actually have it. I'll go grab it when I leave tonight. I'll let you read it. You can borrow it.
Okay.
I actually have your Half-Blood Prince that you let me keep. I held on to it, but I have yours.
Yeah.
Because I think that was your favorite book for a long time.
Yep. When Grandma worked at Meijer, it just came out and she bought it for me. Because they just put the display and she bought it.
So if they do make a series, I know we both are not good on that idea, but it's cool to an exception that it's going to be a series so we could see the books come to life in a sense.
Yeah, like more
like I'm against it, but in a way I do want to see how that would play out in a series.
Yeah, there's more that they can do with it, and that's kind of what I'm liking.
So what is your okay? So for me, I obviously know my favorite book and stuff like that, but what is your favorite book? Yeah, I know you read them all. I've read them all. What's your favorite book, and then compared to your favorite movie of the Harry Potter trilogy or the series?
I think book-wise, it has to be. That's so fucking tough.
It's also probably been a while since you read them, so.
Because my favorite movie, it's a tie between. It's actually a tie between three of them.
See, I have one. Mine's The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's my favorite.
Funny enough, Prisoner of Azkaban, I always fell asleep to it. I literally would put it on to watch it. The fucking when they're literally on the fucking train when the Dementors attack, I pass out every fucking time. I'm like, train scene. I'm fucking asleep. I'm asleep.
See, that is like it helps me go to sleep, but that's my favorite storyline the whole time. Like the whole time.
Well, yeah, because it introduces Sirius Black, you know.
Oh, yeah. I love Sirius.
Mine, I think book-wise, it has to be Deathly Hallows.
That was
because that's just the accumulation of all of it, and I think that is my favorite book. But movie-wise, it is literally a tie, like to a fucking T, between 4, 5, and 6. Between Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and fucking Half-Blood Prince. Because all three of those movies,
they're all good.
Parts 1 and 2 of 7 were great. Something about 4, 5, and 6 were just cinematic masterpieces in my fucking eyes. Like, I loved, because it obviously, as the movies went on, the tone gets darker.
Yeah.
So when you hit 4, and then you start getting like, it's the first time you fucking meet Voldemort, and like just shit hits the fan. You're like, oh fuck! And then when you watch Dumbledore lose his mind, like, Harry Potter, like, who put his fucking name in the goblet?
Well, it's also funny.
And like all this shit. And then
the book format was, you know, he's like, softly, where did you put your name? And he's like, in the movie, he's like, did you fucking...
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, it's such a big dynamic change, but that's why it's fucking great.
Michael Gambon, who plays Dumbledore, is an amazing actor.
And then in 5, you know, Order of the Phoenix, so Dolores Umbridge, twat, like, you know,
fuck that bitch.
Yeah, no, and it's literally just, you're not Dumbledore. Like, just, it was something about that movie, and just kind of like that, like, they're training in secret, like, you know, like, breaking the rules, like.
I liked,
But 6 really, to me, what solidified 6 as like my favorite movie, like within those 3, that I think this is what makes Half-Blood Prince is my favorite movie, is literally the fucking end when Harry goes to cast the fucking spell on Snape and he fucking redirects it and he's like, I am the Half-Blood Prince, and I'm like, what?
I am the Half-Blood Prince. You're gonna use your he says, and I quote, you use my own spells against me? And Harry's like, huh?
Yeah, no, because
I am the Half-Blood Prince.
No one expected it, and you're like, what?
No, that I would say J.K. Rowling is a writer. Okay, was she? A lot of people also have the speculations like Star Wars and Harry Potter is like kind of the same. I mean, they have similar tones. You know, I do agree with that. But the way she wrote those books and the way the characters, like my favorite character, obviously, knows Sirius Black. But because of like each character, you can name a character right now, and that character has a backstory, has heart, has something.
Yeah.
It has troubles and trials and errors. And
yeah,
you can relate to each character.
It was a story that wasn't just Harry, Hermione, Ron. Like, you know, it wasn't just a classical main character story, you know, whatever. It was,
like the main trio. Is it? Like,
yeah,
there was so many more.
It's a whole fucking backstory for Neville, Draco, fucking this person, fucking Johnny B. Good, third table, back row in the movie that you maybe saw for 10 seconds. Whole backstory. Like,
yeah.
Every character had a backstory versus...
Do you remember Colin Creevy?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to say second movie because you might remember the movies more now. In the second movie, he had the camera. He was always trying to take his picture.
Oh, it's the kid that had taken the picture.
Yeah, so in the Deathly Hallows books, he dies. He has a younger brother who goes to Hogwarts too, and they both get killed when Voldemort's attacking. It's called the Battle of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
But he dies.
No way.
I want you to know right now, I've only ever seen bits and pieces of part 1 and 2.
Okay.
Like
I mean,
I
that's
saw
fair.
all the important bits and pieces, but like I've seen the ending of part 2, but like actually sitting down and watching them, I haven't watched
See,
them.
the only reason why the third one is my favorite, like my favorite book, hands down, is The Order of Phoenix, and the Deathly Hallows. Those both books. Well, I would say the more of the Deathly Hallows book, because you reading from the first book to the 7th book, that is the end, and you know that going in, that this is the last installment of a series, and you know that, and you're reading it, and you see where all these characters kind of started from and where they're ending, and it's like kind of like a sentimental like attachment that you feel to like you were the one who got me into reading in the first place.
Yeah.
And the fact that like now I like that, acting is my art, and I like story and creating characters. That is my art form, my outlet. That's what I'm saying. It's like my favorite character has to be Sirius, but also I love Ramus, Lupin, and the Weasley twins. I think Jordan and I are a lot like the Weasley twins.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they can do good. I hope they'd cast me as Sirius Black. I'd do it. I think I'd make Gary Oldman proud.
I'm sure.
You know what? Honestly, I think what they're gonna do. I'm calling it right now. And if this comes true, we have to. Daniel Radcliffe is gonna play Sirius Black. Mark my words.
You think so?
I fucking know so. Think about it. They're gonna reboot Harry Potter. What started his career? Harry Potter, right? What has he tried to break out of for so long?
Harry Potter.
Okay, now they're recasting it. So what's gonna happen? There's gonna be another Harry Potter, right? So
I mean, it's possible.
one of his mentors is Gary Oldman, who plays Sirius Black. So, and Gary Oldman is really old to try and reprise that role. You know what I mean? He's like not skinny no more. You know, I think Daniel Radcliffe would do good for that movie. I'm not even gonna lie, with that show. All right. So we want to go to the next topic.
Sure.
Okay.
What's the next topic?
Okay. So the next topic is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now I wanted to talk about the anime first and how the live action movie sucked. Okay. The anime, when it was coming out on Nickelodeon, was literally the shit. Is it even considered an anime?
It depends on how you look at it. Yes, but it kind of is in that fine line in the middle between...
Because it was American made.
Yeah, but it's that fine line between it being not quite at the time what the style of like an anime would be, but it was also not the style of a cartoon.
Right.
It was like that. It was that literal, like it was between the lines. So it's like you could call it a cartoon, you could call it an anime. It kind of literally depends on who you talk to about it.
See, I only got to read one. You know how like the series, this show, went book 1 for the first season, then book 2, and then book 3.
Yeah.
You know, for each season. The only one I read was actually like it was like I think it was like 3 episodes in one comic or one manga, and I think it was book 1. Water. But the live action movie to me kind of sucked.
Oh no! Yeah, the live action Avatar movie was did about just as well as the live action Dragon Ball movie. It was fucking horrible.
Excuse me, what?
You never seen the live action Dragon Ball Z movie?
No, wait. Oh, isn't that Fiona and Jimmy Steve?
Yeah, it's literally the actors that played Fiona and Jimmy Steve was Goku and Bulma. It's the greatest thing ever.
Wait,
they went from from the 7 legendary Dragon Balls to she was on his balls. So
I was about to say, yeah, isn't there like a scene between Bulma and Jimmy Steve in that movie?
No, because it's so like obviously like they're like older and you know like it's. I think that point. I think it was adult Goku when he fights Piccolo in the World Tournament. Like that's what's supposed to be like. Because he kills Demon King Piccolo as a kid by fucking blowing a hole right through him.
Yeah, in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and then, like, because how, like, that, the ending of Dragon Ball is when Piccolo, which is the, egg that Demon King Piccolo spit out so he could kind of like, it's like, however that works. Yeah. But
he basically
that's how Dragon
like
Ball
Yoshi.
ended, is they fight. Goku doesn't fucking kill him this time. They just beats the shit out of him and he wins. And then like he fucking just fucks off. Like obviously him and Chi-Chi get married and whatever. But yeah, so
and have children.
But anyway, yeah, so live actions of certain things don't work. But like with Avatar, I've been hearing, because they like redid it like as like a comic where like they continued the story, because like literally when Avatar ended and they had the Legend of Korra, which was like everybody's old as shit.
Yeah, like Zuko's the Fire Lord, but he's like fucking old and made it a democracy and made world peace, and there's like cars and shit.
Yeah, like this, that, and the other, and whatever. I mean, I haven't watched it, but it's really good. I know it touches case on like it actually like deals with like depression and like PTSD. Oh, yeah, it's all like all this like the Korra gets just the fucking works throughout the whole thing.
I don't like Korra, to be honest. I know she's lesbian.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. No, yeah, so, but now I'm hearing that they're gonna go through and either do it as like mini movies, like made for TV movies where it's like 40 minutes, or like if they're gonna bring it back. But they were in talks of after they beat Ozai, like literally after Avatar ended. Now it's like their adventures while they're still young, but probably leading up to adulthood. Yeah, like that kind of,
because it doesn't technically.
Middle ground.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and that might be very hypocritical of me. I loved Avatar: The Last Airbender. I didn't like Aang.
I mean, everyone has their preference. Zuko was the shit.
Zuko was my favorite character.
Zuko was cool.
I also like Sokka. And Katara was my baby girl.
Sokka had that dog in him. This dude
with him fucking the Moon Princess.
Yeah, he had that. He fell in love and
she died.
Just turned into the moon.
She really did. The Moon Spirit. That's what.
Yeah, the Moon Spirit, and then he gets with the Kyoshi warrior.
Oh, she was. What's her name? Suki.
Yeah, and. He had the boomer. He literally had the metal boomerang, and he's like, "We're the boomerang." I'm like, "Oh God!"
My favorite is when he gets the onyx sword.
He get the literal sword made of a meteorite. Like this dude,
and he joins the White Lotus secret society that Uncle Iroh's in.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, but and that was something like this. This man that you basically viewed as like, because you got. Aang, the fucking Avatar, does all the elements. You got Toph, who's like literally the greatest earthbender in the world.
And metalbender.
Yeah, and a metalbender. And then you got Katara, who
she could heal.
Yeah, she was a waterbender, and then she
learns bloodbending.
She didn't want. Like, when she found out what she was learning, she didn't want to, but then she realized she could because the lady bloodbender was going after her, and she fucking stopped her because she froze her.
Yeah.
Like was controlling her blood. So, which Korra was good in the sense that it fills a lot of gaps. Where like the only thing that can stop the Avatar is bloodbending. That is the only thing that can stop. So, like, even though obviously Aang is like, he's the Avatar, fuck water, fuck earth, air, like, none of that, you can't throw none of that my way. Literally, hit him with bloodbending. Literally, the only thing that can stop the Avatar is a bloodbender. But you have to obviously be a strong bloodbender. Because in Korra, they show a flashback for something, and there's this fucking dude who just comes out of the woodwork. All of them. Aang, Katara, Toph, Sokka, all of them are in like a courtroom thing, so they're all like trying to discuss something. He just goes, yeah, and he fucking freezes all of them in their tracks. So there's this bloodbender that literally just stopped fucking 5-6 people dead in their tracks. Like, you can't move. Like, I got all of your blood. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. They also like, all right, so I know this is a fun story between you and I, but when I had the G6 and we were introducing Richard to stupid, funny shit, we used to sing this song. Do you remember the song? Secret Tunnel. You guys need to listen to Secret Tunnel.
The song's still on my phone.
It's on my idea.
I'll still listen to it from time to time.
Two lovers. Yeah, Richard was telling me, he's like, I miss that song.
Of course he does.
And I was like, Richard, you're the cabbage guy.
My cabbages.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like Aang that much. I would say, so it is confirmed that they are doing a live action one of Avatar.
I think I saw the trailer.
It's going to be on Netflix.
And yeah, that it already looks better than the one that M. Night Shyamalan fucking tried to do.
Who did?
M. Night Shyamalan.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Seen the movie, I think it's Signs.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's where the aliens come to Earth and, funny enough, their fucking weakness is water. So aliens invaded a planet that's like 70% water, and that's their fucking weakness.
That sounds stupid.
That's M. Night. Literally, his fucking movies are
stupid.
dumb. He got a lot of movies. He fucking plays in his own movies.
Does he?
And he somehow gets these big budgets, and they fucking suck. I don't get it.
So, I will say this. So, in Avatar The Last Airbender, the movie, I think it was just The Last Airbender was the name of the movie.
Yeah, something like that.
The girl who plays Princess Azula, which, and even in an anime, I thought Azula was a fucking freak. Okay?
She was fucking crazy. But that makes sense, because that's...
I get with crazy.
Yeah, that's literally all...
I've ever
You'd have
done.
been a match made in heaven.
We would have killed each other and I'd been happy with it.
No, she would have shot lightning up your fucking ass and that'd been the end of it.
But I would have lived. I'd been like...
Sure, lightning rod, continue.
Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit.
Now you're getting it.
Fuck you, you son of a bitch. No, you got the Irish coming out of me. Anyway, so there's a show called The Magicians that I watch. And one of the main girls who's like a complete bitch, her name's Margot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same actress that plays the two. I think her name is Summer Beishel. Very beautiful. You should look her up.
Noted.
She's very beautiful. But I just hope they give my man Uncle Iroh fucking what he deserves. Because that little, you were telling me, I didn't know this until you told me, but that like that little Soldier Boy song, or that is about like in the show it's about his son dying, but it was actually the voice actor dying.
Yep.
That's why he was crying while singing it.
Yeah,
and then the next season he was replaced because he died.
No, if I'm correct, it was either I think the original voice actor did die, and it was the new voice actor who literally, for that scene, he took the role and he had to sing that song.
Oh.
And I think he like knew him in real life or whatever, and then like so.
I thought it was vice versa. I thought he was knowing he was dying of cancer.
Well, yeah, but I think it's because like so with voice actors, how that works is they so perfect example. The original voice actor for Frieza from Dragon Ball Z,
yeah,
died.
Was Chris? Was his name Chris?
I don't remember what his name was.
Okay,
off the top.
But he passed away. Yeah,
the original voice actor for Frieza. There's only been 3.
Okay.
There was one before the one that we know. The main one, I forget what he had. I think some form of cancer, or whatever. And then now the new one, which was for like I think it was either the end of Super, or at least the movies that came out that introduced Frieza. But he's the 3rd voice of Frieza. So there's only been 3 voices, and while the guy was out, his predecessor was sick. He was, training him to do Frieza's voice and kind of like, and then obviously like would fill in when he was too sick to do it, and then obviously, unfortunately, he ended up passing. So then he, full time became Frieza.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, like, I think, like, that's obviously, like, in those cases, like, when voice actors, like, if it happens all of a sudden, that's a different thing. But, like, if it's, like, you kind of have a deteriorating issue, then they're, you know, going to find somebody that they can use to, you know, train and figure it out.
Not all the time, though, because sometimes deaths are, you know...
Well, that's why I said, like, unless it happens where you can't, you know, plan for it, but...
Let's see. I mean, I just hope they give Uncle Iroh justice, and whoever plays guitar in Aang, you know...
It just depends on how they're going to do it, what points of the movie they're, you know, or what point of Avatar they're going to do, you know.
What really mind blows me, and that's the honest to God truth, is that, what is it, King Ozai? Is it
Fire
Ozai?
Lord Ozai.
Fire Lord Ozai is voiced by Mark Hamill.
You know what? That never crossed my mind until now.
You know who Mark Hamill is?
Yes, I know who Mark Hamill is.
Who's Mark Hamill?
It's Luke Skywalker.
Who else is he?
The Joker.
Who else is he?
Chucky.
No. He's not Chucky.
Yeah, in the new Chucky movie that came out.
He's probably the new Chucky now.
Yeah, he's the new Chucky, not the old Chucky. He's the new Chucky.
He's the new Chucky now?
He's the new Chucky.
Oh, good for him. I love Mark Hamill. He was also on Big Bang Theory as himself. Yeah, I really liked that show.
Yeah, Mark Hamill is a very prolific voice actor.
You know what's really funny about Mark Hamill? He's left-handed, like me, and his middle name is Richard. His father's name is Anthony. Anthony Mark Richard. Why is this in a triangle? No, I'm kidding. So, last topic of the day. Matthew Lillard getting Scream 7. Get your thoughts on that. I don't know if you're really into Scream movies or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I liked the first Scream and the new one with Jenna Ortega.
Obviously, I like the original Scream. You know,
the first one was really good, but that's the one he was in.
My mom's gonna kill me, and then he gets a TV dropped on his fucking head. I like Matthew Lillard as an actor and just human being.
He's amazing.
This fucking the voice of Shaggy. I love when he talks about it. He's like, yeah, I was literally in the car, like, fucking just screaming it. And then, like, I got this raspy-ass voice. And he's like, Link, Scoop. And he's like, that's how I got it. It's like the voice of Mario. Like, all, you know, the games and everything. He was late. The guy that voices Mario was literally late to the audition. They were just wrapping up, and he fucking burst in there, and they're like, all right, you got, like, seconds. What is it? And he just fucking, it's me, Mario. Like, he just fucking did, and they're like, that's it. They literally, anyone else that was there fucking said, nope, that's the guy, and that's, so.
It's me, Mario.
So it's literally just kind of cool, like, how it's just one of those instances where, like, you know, yeah, you know, you're gonna fucking try it, but, you know, we'll see. And I like that, like, a lot of cases too with Matthew Lillard, like, especially like with Scooby. He, like, that was one, or like, you know, Shaggy, he really wanted to break, like, away from it. He's like, I'm more than just, you know, the voice. But he's like, you know, it kind of made him, like, sad and, like, depressed a little bit that was one of his major things that people just remembered him as was, oh, that's fucking Shaggy. You know, but now he's like, I'm a little older. He's like, I fucking love it. Which is almost reminiscent, like, Kevin Bacon fucking hated the Tremor movies. Couldn't stand them. He was like, I can't believe I fucking did that. It's horrible. Now, if they make a new one, he's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, he just loves it now. I'm like, it's kind of cool to see that that shift in dynamic for him. But
it's like my favorite movie Matthew Lillard was in was SLC Punk.
I only saw the one scene. I have to actually sit down and watch the movie. I will watch
it with you.
But yeah, the ones that scene specifically I remember seeing. But yeah, I actually have to sit down and watch.
He's a guy. He's a really good actor. I mean, there's a lot of good movies he's in, like She's All That. I think he's in She's All That. I don't know. Paul Walker's in that movie. There's one about baseball with him and Freddie Prinze Jr. And then him, obviously.
I thought Freddie Prinze Jr. literally plays Fred. Like,
yeah,
like Freddie plays Freddie. He's like, wow.
And the fact is, like, I guess he's like he used to fuck with Matthew Lillard all the time.
Was that Sarah Michelle Gellar that played Daphne?
Yep, and she was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I knew the Buffy. I thought that was, yeah.
And him, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are married in real life. And they've been together since the
and
first
they're still
Scooby-Doo.
going.
They're still together. I think they're married with kids.
Wouldn't be surprised. It's a good show.
You mean Married with Children?
Yeah, whatever.
Love and marriage. Love.
Another cool thing about Matthew Lillard is that he is to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I know I had said a little bit about it before, or I had just stated that fact, but what's cool...
Yeah, before we did the pod, but...
Yeah. Is the character that he's playing.
Is it, like, in the game?
So you don't know... Do you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's?
I've watched you play, I think, the first two. Or no, when you had your apartment. So, I stayed the night and you played, I think, the third or fourth one when it came out.
Yeah, so with Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a whole lore, dude. There's so much to it because there's the games, and then there's the lore that's within the games, and then the fucking creator, good old Scott, made books. There's a fucking book series that follows it, and guess what? It's all canon. Like, so... But there's a main figure called you originally meet him as the purple guy, and he's a security guard. So to make a quick synopsis is all the animatronics are possessed by the souls of dead children.
What?
Yes.
Oh, because it's a serial killer, right?
Yeah, and the purple guy, who is a security guard,
is the serial killer.
So
Matthew Lillard's a serial killer again?
So yeah, he plays the guy.
Stew.
And because the creator of Five Nights is obviously a big part of this, and you know, because even the books are like super fucking like detailed and like gory and like, you know, like shit happens, and that's how they're aiming. Like, the creator even said, he's like, I kind of don't want people to watch this movie because of how but like they're making it true to like the story of Five Nights. So if
like the canon.
So like if I'm correct, obviously like we know like next to nothing about it, but it's probably gonna be like how like they got possessed. I would imagine like how they do it is probably either how they got possessed or whatever the case. So it's basically going to be Matthew Lillard killing kids and stuffing them in animatronics.
Honestly, I think, obviously, because Matthew Lillard is a great actor, but I'm going to talk about the Scream series for a second. The first Scream, obviously, I think you've seen the first Scream, where it's Skeet Ulrich plays...
I love his name, Skeet.
Yeah.
So fucking weird.
Skeet Ulrich, who he plays... I don't know if you've heard of a show called Riverdale.
Yeah,
but that's Cole Sprouse's dad in the show is Skeet Ulrich, who plays Billy Loomis, the killer.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the first Scream movie, Billy Loomis, Matthew Lillard, or Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard play Billy Loomis and Stu. I don't know his last name, but I know he's as Stu.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of 90s people, like, what's her fucking name? I'm drawing a blank right now, but she plays Sydney. What's her name? It's not Nicole Kidman. It's David Cox. What's his fucking name? David Cox? What's his goddamn name? What's her name? Nicole, no. Sarah Campbell? Nev Campbell. Yeah.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah. Nev Campbell. And then you have you ever seen Charmed?
I have seen Charmed.
So,
I actually grew up watching Charmed because my mother...
I love
still
Charmed.
To this day loves Charmed, and she has like a Charmed book upstairs, whatever. But like I did grow up watching Charmed, and for what it's worth, it's not a bad show.
I love Charmed. Alyssa Milano is hot.
But there's just a lot. Like So for me, I guess the best way to explain it in my eyes is charm is supernatural, but like a romantic. Like there's a lot of romance. Like the one of the Charmed sisters fucking loves like the devil. Like the dude is like the next in line to be
that's Alyssa Milano's. And I don't think it's the devil. He's just a demon.
He's a demon. I think he becomes like the ruler of hell. It's like
At
there's
some
like a
point,
whole thing, and then like the main character Piper married to a fucking angel. Like there's just so much that
I don't think he's an angel. He's a white lighter, which is like
he was
knight of an angel.
Okay, so
And his name was Leo.
yeah, Leo. So he's a white lighter, and then he becomes an angel, but then he becomes a human because something happens, and like in order to do some shit, he just completely revokes like all of his shit, and he becomes a human. Like there was so many fucking left turns all throughout that show.
That show, for me anyway, okay? That show for me made no fucking sense when Wyatt comes from the future to like help them.
It was totally a future Trunks situation where future Trunks comes back and fucking
completely.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
it's like I've seen this before.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
But no, it's like they did a good job. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying though, the one sister, not Phoebe, not Piper, but the blonde sister in Charmed, not the. Because you had Shannon Dorothy, the original sister, was the oldest. Then you had Piper. Then you had Phoebe, which was Alyssa Milano's character.
Yeah, there was Piper, Phoebe, and I forget what the third one, but she dies.
The older one, Shannon Dorothy's character, died. She was in the original Heathers with Christian Slater.
Yeah, so
and
she dies.
And then they had a blonde sister. The blonde sister plays Sidney Prescott's friend in Scream, who gets her head fucking cut in the fucking garage door.
Doesn't get cut, gets crushed.
Whatever. But
which I still love the scene because they just for that quick snippet had to do a close up of her head going and just fucking
like a fucking balloon animal.
Looked dumb as shit, and she was just left dangling there, and I'm like,
which is funny. Nev
and how no one heard the garage door literally like explode of practically is beyond me.
My favorite, because there's a comedian a part of that movie is Jamie Kennedy, which he's hilarious comedian. He was a part of Ghost Whisperer, and he played the one that could hear the spirits, but he couldn't see them.
Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, that show is kind of wild.
Retarded. I didn't like it.
I liked it when I was a kid, like the first season, but after that it got fucking wicked. That was on. You remember Ion Television? That's what it was on. The reason why I watch it because of Prison Break. Wentworth Miller played in the first episode of Ghost Whisperer as a soldier. That's why it got me into it, watching it, because he played a soldier who died and he didn't know he died.
Yeah.
So he goes to her. He's like, I just want to see my wife, and he died in Nam. So she's like trying to figure out the information, and he did like such a good job. That's why I was like, okay. And then there's another one. If you remember Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
The one that played like her, not Frodo, but the other one, her brother. I think it was her younger brother. He played a kid with like a certain rare kind of blood cancer, not leukemia, but it was something rare, and he died. And he needed help because he was like trying to make this girl commit suicide because he was being like a demonic spirit, and he's trying to make her commit suicide so he's not alone anymore. And he like hacks her computer as a spirit, and the Ghost Whisperer fucks him up. I watched that. That's the only 2 episodes I remember. Supernatural was way better than that. Charmed was good, but also it's little since I've seen it.
Yeah, no, watching it now, I'd probably fucking be like bored.
I watched one episode because I tried watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer recently, probably like a year ago, and I got through like the first 5 episodes. I'm like, the fucking 90s, dude. And then
you really gotta stomach the 90s, I guess. Because I was obviously I'm born in '97, so like by the and when I turned 3, so when cognitive memory hits 2000, so I still somewhat have like the
born 2000,
the little trails of fucking the '90s still, but like looking back to it, it's like it was. First off, the '90s was the gross era, 100% gross. Like everything was just gross.
Yeah.
Like everything that they did, like the books, the games, the shows, it's all gross. It was the gross era, which is true. It's how everyone refers to it as. And really, you just like looking at like it's like it's good to look back, but like when you're watching it, you're like, oh god, like you can only get like you got to do it in spurts because if you try to sit down, it's fucking.
So So yeah, I was watching Buffy, and then the only reason why I liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer is because like the guy who played Angel. When I was a kid, he was a badass. Because I remember watching that like with my grandma, and I rewatched like 2 episodes of Angel, and I didn't realize that the Irish guy in Angel, basically he's like a demon or whatever, helping Angel with the crimes and stuff. He fucking died in real life. He fucking died. So I was like, I don't know. I like it, but the 90s, it's hard to stomach. Even like early 2000s, like the acting is not that good.
Yeah.
Like, and it also makes you wonder too. It's like I've watched 80s movies with Johnny Depp, and his acting was fucking phenomenal. And then you see the actors in the movie with him, and it's like, what are you doing?
Just some people are just really good actors.
You know, and then like you also see like, I don't know. I like Christian Slater's acting, but when he first started acting, you could see, or even Heath Ledger, people would be like, oh, he's a great fucking actor through and through. I've studied acting and his acting for far too long to be like, oh, he was great the whole time. No. Two Hands, he was like good, but he had to improve. 10 Things I Hate About You. You know? Then into Monsters Ball. Then The Patriot with Mel Gibson. That's when he started really getting into the character development and all that. And then The Brokeback Mountain, which he became a gay cowboy.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, they're perfect together.
They're perfect together.
Which is funny, in that movie, Jake Gyllenhaal dies, and Heath lives. And
In real life.
Heath died. Jake lived.
Yep.
And Jake is Heath's daughter's godfather. Which I think is very good. But I think that concludes the pod. Unless you have any parting words. Anything you want to bring in?
Skip class, eat ass. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There's just so much, you know. And while we could sit here and talk for hours, unfortunately, that's not ideal.
Wait, I don't know how long we've been.
Oh, only 47 minutes.
That's still
More than enough.
long enough. I think the last one was, what?
Just over 30.
And then the second one was like an hour.
Like an hour and a half.
We gotta do that again.
Oh, yeah. No, that will.
We were getting into that one.
That one was a good one. It's just, unfortunately, that when the times line up, it's late as hell.
I showed up early today.
You did show up early today, but again, with, you
Did
know,
we?
there's external factors.
Well, no, I'm just like, I get that. I'm saying, so, yeah. Is there any way you can actually send me the audio?
I'm sure I can.
Okay. I'm going to edit that photo and maybe see if I could just add the words to everything for a while when we don't actually film an episode.
Yeah.
I can just do like the voiceover.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Yeah, I think we're good on this one, and you know, see you guys whenever. We don't have a plan, and you know, don't get impatient because that just looks bad.
Yeah.
Bye bye.